We just witnessed the single greatest season in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series history. Shoot, we may have gotten one of the greatest all-time highlights tonight as well. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove on the Go, presented by Tableau TV. I'm coming to you from pit road exit here at the Phoenix Raceway, where we just witnessed Cory Heim get his 12th Truck Series victory of the season and clinch his first career Craftsman Truck Series title. I guess the third time was Heim time. Instant reaction, plus you'll hear from some of the top finishers. Boy, let me tell you what. They are sleeping good in Daytona Beach, Florida tonight, although most NASCAR executives are actually here on location at Phoenix Raceway. Cory Heim had the most dominant season in Craftsman Truck Series history. Can we just look at the stats? And I'm going to include tonight in this. Let's just look at some of the stats. 12 wins, most all time, 19 top fives in 25 races, 21 top tens, unbelievable. A fifth place average finish. Dude averaged a top five for an entire season. He also led multiple laps in every single race this season, the all-time laps leader now for a single season. Dude finished the year with 11 straight podium finishes, and he was this close to losing the championship. He was a Connor Mozak blown tire with 3 to go away from losing the championship. He was a 4-tire call when others took 2 tires call away from losing the championship to drivers who hadn't won a single race all season. Look, y'all know me. I like having a form of playoffs at the end of the season, forcing the star drivers and teams to step up in big moments. But I've never been a fan of the one-race finale. And this year it was taken to the extreme. Our championship, for all due respect to these other drivers, featured 11-win Cory Heim, who now has 12, 1-win Tyler Ankrum, who snapped like a 6-year losing streak earlier this season, and then 0-win Ty Majeski and 0-win Caden Honeycutt. 11 versus 1 combined, and they were all reset to 0. Best finisher tonight would have walked out of here with that big tin can, that big Craftsman Truck Series trophy. That is silly. We can tell it like it is. I don't mind the rounds, the eliminations, but a one-race finale where you put 4 drivers on an exact even playing field regardless of past season success, that is silly. And NASCAR almost looked extremely silly tonight, and they knew it too, because when Connor Mozak blew that tire, he'd been riding around here with a flat for 2 laps. I saw him go by at least once with a flat, didn't pit. When he brought out that caution and nearly cost Cory Heim a championship, NASCAR actually called the 81 driver and crew chief to the hauler post-race. They were going to have a chat, and they may still be having that chat right now, even though the outcome was probably NASCAR's desired outcome. NASCAR needed Cory Heim to win this championship to legitimize what we have witnessed the past 9 months. We have witnessed Cory Heim dominate this series week after week. No one close to matching his consistency, matching his speed, matching his level, and he almost lost the championship tonight. That is the takeaway. If Cory Heim doesn't put on Superman's cape there that first overtime and drive from 10th to 2nd in half a lap, if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't go 7 wide up against the inside wall, inventing a new lane here at Phoenix, if Cory Heim doesn't do GOAT things, this entire Craftsman Truck Series season would have had an asterisk next to it. Let's just be honest. We can tell it like it is. But Cory Heim did win this race and made one of the most incredible moves I have ever witnessed in the process. So all due credit to Cory Heim, gets his first career Craftsman Truck Series championship. Congratulations, well deserved.
Yeah, I can't say I've felt this feeling, in past years. The first year I was a part of the championship for, I was not a rookie technically, but rookie from a full-time perspective, and was just kind of happy to be there, but also knew we had a lot of momentum, so I wanted to prove myself. And obviously, things got out of control and didn't get that one. And last year, I felt it was our year. We had the momentum, and for lack of a better word, kind of got our teeth kicked in. And this year, we came back and broke just about every record you possibly could, And I felt the pressure that if I didn't get the championship, that cherry on top, that the season obviously would have been really good and where we were at, but that was the ultimate goal. Even if we had no, wins to our name in 2025. We still were trying on the championship. That was our number one goal. So just felt a lot of pressure to get that done, and especially being with the best truck team in the garage as well. I felt a lot of pressure to fulfill that and make the most of it. Certainly had some crazy stuff going at the end there that almost took us out of it, but it was just meant to be, for sure.
Before we move on from Cory Heim, I just have to say his professionalism, his demeanor, I'm not even talking about his talent. We know Cory Heim is talented. I think a lot of credit also should go to Scott Zipadelli, who won his second career Craftsman Truck Series championship. Scott Zipadelli is legit. Zipadelli won a truck title 7 years ago with Brett Moffitt and Hattori Racing Enterprises. Scott Zipadelli is a great crew chief, but Cory Heim has proven over the last 3 years he is also a great driver, one of the best young NASCAR prospects we have seen in many, many years. He doesn't have a deal for next year, at least nothing official, likely won't be in trucks full time. Likely won't be in Xfinity full-time or O'Reilly Auto Parts Series full-time. Won't be in Cup full-time. The inn is full at 2311 Racing, at least for the time being. But Cory Heim absolutely deserves a shot at the next level. In good equipment, he could win in Xfinity tomorrow. I think he's a year away from winning in the NASCAR Cup Series. I mean, shoot, Cory Heim finished 6th in the Bristol night race a few weeks ago. Kid is the real deal. I hope Toyota and 2311 are able to keep his career progressing the right direction. I don't want to see him stall out for much longer because, I mean, tonight, this whole season, the last 3 seasons show what he's truly capable of. Tricon Garage, Cory Heim, congratulations on the championship tonight. Now I want to talk about a few other drivers. I want to give Lane Riggs some credit. He wasn't in the Drivers' Championship 4, lost out on a tiebreaker last weekend at Martinsville, but Front Row Motorsports was eligible for the Owners' Championship, and the 34 team gambled. Early in Stage 3, they pit for tires, had a slight tire advantage over Heim, Majeski, Honeycutt, the front runners, and the way things cycled, the way cautions fell, the speed in that 34, it looked like Lane Riggs was going to win this race and get Front Row the owner's title, which is worth a lot. It's worth bragging rights. There's a check at the end of the year associated with it. This looked like Lane Riggs' race to lose until the Connor Mozak caution happened and they went 7 wide on the restart. But I want to give Lane Riggs credit. We knew that if he had made it to the Drivers' Championship 4, as good of a short track racer as he is, as good as he's been at the short, flat ovals this year, he was going to be Cory Heim's toughest competition. Even though he wasn't in the Drivers' Championship, that proved to be the case tonight as expected. And they overcame a lot. Issues in inspection yesterday, crew chief ejected, started this race basically on pit road, had to serve a pass-through after the green flag to come back to overcome that adversity and almost win tonight's race, almost win the Owners' Championship. I want to give Lane Riggs credit. He has a very bright future as well. As for the other championship contenders, boy, I am batting 1,000 to start the weekend. My predictions yesterday, you can throw them up right here. I ranked them Heim, Majeski, Honeycutt, Ankrum in that order. That's exactly the order they finished, at least in relation to the championship. Sorry, Tyler Ankrum, what was that? Tyler Ankrum picked a bad time to run one of his worst races of the season. Got caught up in a wreck there at the end, but they had like a 15th place truck all night long. Took tires late to kind of crack the top 10, but geez, what a whiff in the most important race of the season. Majeski did what we expected. Top 5 truck all night. ThorSport hasn't quite had the juice of previous seasons, so he wasn't quite as good as Heim. Kept Heim honest, didn't let Heim out of his sights, but was never really better than Cory Heim. That final restart, he was at a tire disadvantage, drove Heim down under the apron. Heim washed up. Hard, fair racing, eye for an eye, the way I see it. Caden Honeycutt, impressed with Caden Honeycutt. Started the year in a Chevy with Nice Motorsports, was able to finish the year in a Toyota, substitution role. Halmar Friesen, Stuart Friesen here, cheering his guys on to bounce from one team to another. And there was that brief race. Didn't he make one start in a Young's Motorsport truck just to fill in that gap? To bounce between teams, to be as young and the most inexperienced. I think of all the Championship 4 guys tonight, Honeycutt had the fewest truck starts under his belt. To be the least experienced, I think the youngest of the group, it's between him and Riggs, and to perform as well as he did down the stretch to make the Championship 4 in a substitution role, to finish this race 3rd. He too battled back from adversity. He had a lane change penalty early on, like Lane Riggs, had to come from the back to the front. Top 5 finish, was in the picture late. Again, tire disadvantage compared to Heim. Still, really impressed with Caden Honeycutt. He can be over aggressive at times, and I've criticized him for that. that. But I'm still on the Honeycutt hype train. It sounds like he'll be at Tricon Garage next year. That could be him on that stage 1 year from tonight. I would not be shocked. I think the speed, the talent is very real. What a race. What a thrilling, nerve-wracking finish. I think the feeling I'm experiencing, and I'm sure a lot of other fans are, is relief. In fact, I'm sure even Cory Heim is probably feeling more relief than anything. I mean, there's excitement, there's joy, but underneath all that, relief to seal the deal, to legitimize what we saw all season long. We knew, everyone in this building, everyone watching at home tonight knew Cory Heim was the most deserving championship driver in this field, bar none. So for him to seal the deal and officially etch his name into the record books, gosh, that has to be a huge sigh of relief. Even Lane Riggs on pit road after the race just lost the owner's championship, but even he admitted that Heim winning was good for the sport in many ways, and he took a shot at the current playoff format.
Congratulations to Cory, deserving driver. Good for the sport and the series for him to win this championship. And I'm just hopeful that we do change the format next year, considering how close it was on our fingertips if we would have been in the drivers, and how quickly it can get stripped away in just a few minutes after a whole season long work.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Wow, what a night, what a start to NASCAR Championship weekend. I will see you again tomorrow. We've got the NASCAR Xfinity Series finale on the CW. The NASCAR Cup Series Championship 4 will race Sunday on NBC. I'll be here all weekend covering it. Follow me on Twitter for real-time updates, and keep an eye on your YouTube feeds late into the evening. The next 2 nights I'll have instant race reactions up for both of those races as well. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for following along. I hope you enjoyed tonight's race. I hope you enjoyed my recap, and I'll see you again real soon. Take it easy, y'all.